All right. So today we have Kit Volcano on the Entire Life Summit. And Kit, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself to get going?
Well, thanks for welcoming me. I'm so excited to be here. I run a company with my wife called the Little Volcano, and the core of what we do is what has changed my life, which is teaching people how to harness the power of their mind
Mhm.
and leverage their emotions as an emotional guidance system so that they can create what they want in the world. We teach people how to build businesses, scale businesses, market, all kinds of stuff, we teach people how to coach, lots and lots of technical how-to stuff.
Mhm.
But what I really love about the foundational work that we do is that if that is not there, you can dig all you want into how-to videos and how-to tutorials and learn every single strategy, and it will not work for you.
And what do you think is the key?
The key
Yeah.
in mindset.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, the key just that's fun. There's so many keys, but I think the biggest key that is joy.
Mhm.
Is losing that analytical part of yourself that doubts, that fears, that worries, um that is critical, and I don't just mean critical in like a just critical thinking kind of way, constantly doubting everything, constantly criticizing everything,
Yeah,
constantly
there's
worrying, constantly being in fear.
I have one of those that sits on my shoulder and
Yeah.
natters at me. Natter, 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 natter. And I
It's a little.
finally learned how to talk back to it. But for a long time, I was just like, oh, really? Oh, really? I'm not good enough? Oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
What you believe you will make true, not just not, and it's, you don't believe it because it is true. You believe it and you're making it true. You're literally making it true with your beliefs.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing that I do with our clients is, I teach them that you let go of that part of your brain
Mm-hmm.
and you allow yourself to connect to joy, childlike joy, like some of the best manifestors, the most magical beings on earth are children.
No,
Like,
yeah.
I look at my baby and I'm like, you have it all. You are such a master manifester. Like, you literally can ask for anything and it is delivered to you. And I look at him and he's got the little pool outside, and he's got his ball pit, and he's just constantly getting things mailed to him in the mail. And he's just one of the most joyful beings ever.
And my
And
dogs.
what's that?
My dogs. Same
Yeah.
thing. Like they just get everything they want.
And it's true. And people were like, well, there's this belief that, well, yeah, if I could had everything that I wanted, I would be joyful too. But I've also seen children, and there's some very rare children that are the most obnoxious, crabby, um,
Unhappy.
unhappy, hard to please children. And you do see that those children, you don't want to give, you don't want to, you want to spoil the fun ones, you
Yeah.
want to spoil the joyful ones, because it's so fun to give little gifts to the joyful ones and take them on little adventures. Like, it's that
When
joy
they
that
appreciate
really,
it, right?
oh yeah, and it's that joy that attracts things from people. And it's the
Right.
same with your business, it's the same with relationships, it's the same with money. It's an attraction factor. It's not about knowing every little thing of how to do stuff. It's really like, through that joy, magic will really come into your life. And I've seen clients that I work with harness that joy and make way more money than the people who dig into the how to and get it perfect.
Got it. Got it. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, like, you just told me for a second ago, and I thought it was wonderful, that you had just seen the bioluminescence in the
Oh my
ocean
God.
here for the first time. So tell us where you're from and how you ended up here in San Diego.
Gosh. Okay. So I'm originally from Northern California,
Wow.
and um, you, back of the woods, redneck Northern California, not like hippie, progressive Northern California that you think maybe like San Francisco. It's like north and north and north of that, like Chico, Red Bluff area. And my parents migrated down to the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo area. And from there, all of my siblings, as we grew up, kind of just went off in our own directions. And I'm LGBTQ. I was born a woman, and now I'm a trans man. And I had this kind of stick up my butt victim mentality
Mhm.
about never being able to afford California. Like, how dare my family lives here? I'm a lesbian. I'll never be able to make it here. And I moved to the Midwest and the South and kind of moved all over these affordable places. And it wasn't until I still was creating massive failure for myself
Mhm.
living in these affordable places that I realized, I had the big epiphany that like it was all about my mindset. It was all about what I believed I was making true.
Mhm.
And as soon as I believed that, I was like, you know what, Kit, you get a complete clean slate. Like, you get to start over. You've made you've made the most incredible romance through your mindset and through
Mhm.
loving yourself and believing in yourself. You can do that with money too.
Mhm.
And that's when Rosie and I realized that we scratched everything, and we were like, where do we want to live?
Yeah.
And San Diego came up.
It's a
And
beautiful place to be,
oh
right?
yeah, San Diego, like, there's no better place than San Diego. And the cool thing was that all of my family members had moved down here, and
Mhm.
then we all just kind of like came back together, and we all live in San Diego now. And
Funny.
I just bought a house, and it's an incredible view, and just have such an amazing life. The weather's beautiful, and
The
you just gave myself,
bioluminescence.
oh my God, it was incredible. It was so magical. So you just start allowing yourself to believe that you can have what you want, and not combating it with fear and worry all of the time.
Mhm.
You start to actually believe in it. It does start to happen. And so, I've lived all over the world. We lived in Scotland, Chicago, Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah, we lived in Scotland for a while. It was
Whereabouts?
Dundee.
Oh, that's cool. My last name's Melrose, and my family's from the Melrose Abbey along the border there in Scotland.
Oh, cool.
So pretty. Oh,
Yeah, it is
beautiful
beautiful.
there. That's awesome. Okay, so my first question for you on the summit today is, how do you gain your clarity, or how do you help your clients gain clarity?
Um, I think number one is don't put so much pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you need answers right away,
Mm-hmm.
you're literally choking the pathway through which they come.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You have to give it space.
Yeah. So if you want to gain clarity, stop focusing on it and go do something where you feel clear.
Mm-hmm.
Like exercise, go to the beach. Like last night we went to the bioluminescence, and I was so just absolutely incredible seeing the whole ocean lit up like neon blue and green with like shooting stars, and just rubbing the bioluminescence all over your skin and like glowing like an alien. Just go do things that bring you joy,
Yeah.
and lay off where you're confused for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and clarity will start to come.
That's so interesting. It was funny. I just, on the hour earlier, was interviewing another one of our speakers, and he was saying nature does it for him. When he's out in nature, not with his kiddos, just alone, walking along in nature, that's when clarity comes to him.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you say that as well. Another one of those threads that's that's starting to form in all of these talks that we're having here. It's so wonderful. So let's talk about the next thing. What about power or willpower? And the way I kind of preface this is, for instance, there are days when it's tough, you know, when being an entrepreneur kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And where, how do you kind of dig in and find that power to carry on, to continue going in the direction that you found in the clarity?
You don't.
You just give up.
If you are in a place where everything sucks that much,
Uh-huh.
when you're really believing that it is that tough and it sucks that much,
Uh-huh.
that's when you stop and you go and you do the things that bring you clarity.
Got it. Got it.
And whether that's connecting to gratitude, getting a little bit of a higher perspective, or, you know, connecting to a mentor who has been through it before, just zooming out a little bit, you know, like, I have convinced myself many a time that there was something to worry about that never was real.
Oh, and it's so much worse when you worry about it, isn't it? It's like so big and huge and you can't fix it.
I tell my clients this. This is my favorite question to ask any potential client. I say, if you could have the thing that you wanted in the next week, month, or whatever short-term goal it is that they have, they're really pressuring themselves to have. If you could have whatever it is you wanted, let's just say like $1 million in a month.
Yeah.
But you would be in excruciating pain. You would burn out your adrenals. You would lose your connection to your family. There would be no joy. It would just be work, 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 work. But you had that $1 million. And then all of the consequences of that would carry on forward throughout that year because of how much you put yourself through. Would you rather have that $1 million now? Or would you rather have it in 2 years, but the road there was so joyful?
I know what
The
my
road,
answer would be.
the road there was so much fun. Yeah, you didn't have your you know, freaking sports car, or you didn't have your designer handbag, or you didn't buy your dream house, or whatever it was that you wanted, but you had joy, you had fun, you had adventure, you had connection. What would you choose?
Got it.
And a lot of the clients that I see, A, not getting a lot of success, and B, not feeling very happy, choose number one.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting what ends up driving us forward, right?
And the irony is, the moment you choose joy, everything happens so much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny. I just started going to the chiropractor probably a couple months ago. It was about a month before I got sick with the coronavirus. And I was talking to my chiropractor about just that. So I'm like, I'm taking care of myself and everything is just starting to fall into place. And he's like, you'll notice that a lot more the more you take time off, take care of yourself. And so again, some of the other speakers have mentioned that when you kind of let go, everything falls into place. But when you're grabbing so hard, it's difficult. Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so now the last question that I have for you is follow through. Are
All of
there any structures that you have in place that help you to follow through once you're clear? Now you've got the power. And are there any structures that help you follow through on whatever it is that you've decided to go forward for?
Well, you know, it was interesting as I was looking at these questions that you were asking. The first thing I wrote was do less.
Yeah.
Like, only say yes to things that are like 100% soul yes. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're saying yes to everything, you might need to look at underneath, like, why everything in the world is 100% soul yes to you, because there's no way that that's true. It's coming from an empty, oftentimes it's coming from an empty place, or like something that is you know, you're talking yourself into yeses that aren't real yeses.
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying yes to everything. So number one, say yes to way less. That makes follow through so much easier.
Yeah.
And number two, once you have those yeses, it's a lot easier to follow through.
Mm.
But those real yeses, those
Yeah.
like aligned ones that are simple and
Meaningful.
easy, yeah, that are meaningful. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, a structure that I learned from one of my mentors is very simple. Like I've seen people plan out their days and their tasks in really complicated ways, where they do a brain dump on Monday and then they plan out every single little time block thing. And that never works, because life is always
Getting in
changing.
your way.
So the simple thing that has worked the best for me is this. You have on Fridays
Mm-hmm.
or on Sundays, you write down the most important things that you need to get done, like
Mm-hmm.
your biggest levers in your business,
Mm-hmm.
your biggest, and the biggest outcomes that you want to have. Like, say you need to get 2 clients, say you need to, you know, what's an outcome? Say you need to get 50 clients. Say you need to get 50 clients the next month. It's like, what are the things that are going to move me the closest to that right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then you break that down to 1 or 2 tasks a day. So on Sunday night, I look at my big overarching goal, overarching outcome,
Mm-hmm.
and then I write, what am I doing on Monday? I do 1 or 2 tasks, and that's it.
That's awesome. And you don't
Then,
the rest, right?
yeah, or I don't do it.
Yeah.
And then
Just
and
don't do
then I report what I did on Monday at the end of Monday, and then I plan Tuesday.
it. That's
And then at the end of Tuesday, I report what I did, and I kind of like look at what's working, what's not, and then I plan Wednesday at the end of the night. You just plan the next day to the day before, so when you wake up, you know exactly what you need to do. This system has been life-changing for me.
That's great. That's great. And that goes right along with the app that I'm developing. And
Oh,
that's
really?
one of the whole reason. Well, entire task is the whole
Yeah.
reason for this series, right? Because
Yeah.
I really believe that project management and task management and goal management from a business owner's point of view has really let us down, because we can't see the big picture. I
Yes.
can't see, when I'm working with some of my clients, I can't see 25 years down the road, right? I can't see 15 years down the road. I can't see or feel what's really important in my life inside of these tools. And I want to be able to see that. I want to be able to connect. And this is what I found in connecting with my clients and working with them. The ones who are the most successful can connect their long-term vision with their
Yes.
daily goals.
Yes.
And those that don't are the ones that fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so beautiful that you said that, and you didn't even know that that was about.
That's so cool.
Exactly
Like,
what we're doing.
I have a lot of people who I work with
Mm-hmm.
who work for the sake of working.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll sit down with them and I'll say, what's on your agenda for this week? Like, what's the most important outcome for you? And
Right.
then what are the tasks that you're breaking down? And their most important outcome will be tasks. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, but what's the point of doing that? But what's the point of doing that? But why are you doing that? Why are you working so much? What is the point of that? What is the outcome that you want? It's either enjoyment or it gets you to an outcome. If you're just doing it to do it, you're going to end up just spinning your wheels and getting no outcome.
Busy work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
So that's I think cutting out the busy work, cutting out all the things you think you have to do is
That's
really
beautiful.
important.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Kat. And so now tell us about the free gift that you're giving to our people at the end of the summit here. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So we have this challenge called the Get Yourself Together Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a online incubator that you go through with a community that helps you start to see how you are, doing all this stuff that's mudding up your life, it helps you see that from a bird's eye view. And the really incredible thing about this challenge is you get is the community that you get. You know, on the very first day, we help you get over your fear of being seen and being heard and being big, and we give you incredible, you know, exercises to overcome that fear. And that's one of the things, you know, those things in your head, like, what are people thinking of me? What are people thinking about me? As soon as you get over that, it frees you up to do so much, to start to align all of this stuff together. And you know, it's one of the most incredible challenges on the internet, that for helping you break through all these things. And it works for relationships, it works for money, it works for you know, your health. It's all a mindset thing, that when you have a container that will help you see, someone who helps see you from bird's eye view and help see the things that you might not know you're doing, you can start to just dissolve them really, really quickly.
That's wonderful. Well, we'll definitely link it below the interview here.
That's
And
called the getyourselftogetherchallenge.com.
yep, we will definitely make sure that it is here. And it's so nice to talk with you.
Me too.
And I'm enjoying this so much, because all of the speakers have had interesting little things, but then, like you say, there's a common thread, you know, through us entrepreneurs, of the way that we structure things in order to get things done. And
You
yeah,
know,
so.
I have to say, you know, there's probably going to be a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors on this summit, and I know that I can tell when somebody has a lot of success,
Mhm,
because they're not telling you that it's about grinding your ass into the ground to get
mhm,
it. If
mhm,
you're hiring a mentor or a coach who is telling you that that is what you must do all of the time, you know, there's nights where we'll stay up all night working because we're just in such flow. But if there are mentors or coaches who are telling you to do that, that is when you run in the other direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Kit. And I hope you have an awesome day today.
Yes. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Okay. Talk to you soon.